We can start now, sir. We have 36
But this
participants.
is also part of it, no? You could have recorded.
Yes, sir. So welcome everyone. Today is the 27th lecture and we are concluding the basic course. So we have Dr. Gandhi with us. He'll be answering all the queries of the participants. So welcome everyone and we can just ask the queries. You can put the queries in the chat box.
Hmm? So
Yeah.
let me just continue a few minutes with what I was saying is,
Yeah.
some courses are training you. I can go and see, how many types of sculptures you can make. This style is called this. This is another style. This is another style. Another is, how will I do it? XYZ doctor can do it. Can I do it? This is what you learn here. So hand in hand, and that's why so this question answer is there. It's like you've gone through this certain aspect of your studies, and then you want to know your queries, and then you learn more. And it also instills curiosity. There's a lot of new way of looking. It changes your perception. So we are focusing more on your perception, the way of looking, rather than only information based, Teach us about ancient plants, teach us about cats and dogs. That is also important, not that how can you function without information. But once you get this, no, then many things become easier. Both things have to go hand in hand. So if you are really, most of you are teachers here, I can see. Manisha is there. So I would really request, just ask somebody. Because it's a different thing. I don't know if we are projecting this to the students and they are knowing what we are really doing. It's not like dishing out, okay, we'll do 2 lectures, this lectures, that lecture. That sort of a thing is very easy also. This has to be structured, thought, who's going to speak, that person has to prepare all the notes about it. It's a lot of work also in it. So please try and see if we can continue this. And I think we have to convey this to people. How is our lecture different from others? What are we trying to do? So it is not even diluted by, this way also, this way also, this way also. It's like you get confused because there are so many ways. I think this is a platform where after you have decided, now what? It's not for people who are still making choices. And I can also tell you about this method is that it is a very broad way of looking. It's an umbrella method, I would say. Because what other methods are there? Many of the methods which are going on now can be explained by this. Let's say simple, no? Very nice, our sensation method, which I also grew up with and I was practicing and I still do. It's part of it. I'm sure everybody's telling, how the sensations also explain the inner age. It's like if you have a ball and you make 15 holes in it and you press it, rubber ball, little water will come from every side. So when you follow many methods, first when I came into homeopathy, I didn't know head or tail. I didn't even go to any medical college like you all have done. I'm an anadi that way. But first I read on my own and then I said, let me look for a teacher. I had many options that time also. There was Praful Vijayakar, there was Kumar Davle, there was Shankaran. I attended seminars of everybody. But then I said no. I decided I wanted to be with Shankaran. Then I caught hold of his tail and did not leave it till I really felt, or he got fed up. Either way. But get the most out of it. It is how it should be. Like them, you should run. If there's a teacher, you have to run after that teacher. Take everything from them. Extract everything, ask questions, learn. That excitement, that curiosity is also important, that enthusiasm. But that time also you say, I want this also, this also, this also, you are nowhere. In that same ball, you make one hole and you press, that water goes much far and with lot of force. So don't divert your attention. I'm not saying this method. I've never said, oh, you are doing this method. Oh, you are doing specifics. Oh, you are doing this. Never I have said that. Everything has its place. We have to decide at what level you want and what will give you satisfaction, what will give you joy. We have to choose that. Sometimes you don't have time, energy, and you are also okay. It's one of the things you do. Hmm? It's like saying, no, jack of all, you would like to be or master of one. But nobody is guiding. So what then I went to Shankar, and then I said, whatever it is, I'm going to learn every pearl of wisdom from him. I won't leave anything. And then I have my own personality. So something came from me also, which was an add-on. So it is already an add-on. It is not something different. I didn't say that is not right and this is way. I said we can develop it further. And this is what I tell my people also. You don't have to stop where I do. Develop it even further. You have to refute also some of my points. I was just talking yesterday. Science is dead if it doesn't grow. But take up a branch. Everything, today, even in psychotherapy, there are many point of view with which you do therapy, like gestalt, transactional, whichever way you want. Every has one way of looking. So see what is it. And if you all have been helped, so this is different. This is not just, chalo, I want to know this, so I'm going. I want to know this, I'm going. I want to know how to go about now. After knowing what do I do with my material. This is it. You've collected all the material. On material will go on coming. You want to build a house, you don't collect all the material. You go on collecting the material what you need at that moment. Gradually, everything will come. All the material will come. All these years we practiced, no, without knowing notes on reptiles and birds. We did it. But this is very rewarding when you do the cases this way. This is my feeling. It's everybody has a choice to see how they feel, but for me, and it does not refute any method. This is it. You don't become like, this way or that way. We say this way includes all the way. This way, okay. If you're going only with physicals, it is included. We also do that. So you'll see in our lectures when we do in ITC, somebody does repertory, somebody will tell it from this method I did, somebody says something, and we are open. Nobody is ever told, why are you speaking this? We are not fanatics. Because we feel finally we can explain everything from this. So I think it's a very deep and a nice method. And even to tell you this, I have certain amount of conviction. I know how I started this because I had to come up with these new ideas and in an environment where all methods were already there with a little bit of shyness and hesitant, also conscious how it is being received. I've gone through all those stages. But now I'm very, very happy about it. And there's a lot of conviction because every day I breathe this way, I think this way, I feel it this way. It comes very natural to me now. So has to become a part. So I personally feel then what happened is we started this is because we thought, how do we promote it now? Because we have a group. I think our group, one other thing, our IPEMA group, or I would say ITC, which is also part of our PEM group, I'll say. Our PEM group has, I can't tell you, the best homeopaths, best teachers, excellent. Means I don't think anybody has such a group. It's not a basic, that's such a good experienced teachers, the best you can think of. Each of our teacher level, even if you hear their discussions and all, it's simply amazing. So you have to just join that group. Once in a year, we have this program where we go out. It's a fun and learn program where we go and meet somewhere out of our city and we decide one place where whoever can come. That's an idea because without webinar, now we want to meet each other. We want to know each other. So many new students are shy. Oh, such senior teachers, what will I do there? I don't know. But when they come there and then they see everybody is so friendly, they feel a part of it. It's very nice. And that's the real nice time where once in a year we all meet. Otherwise, we are meeting on this platform, that platform, discussing. And then we have such active two WhatsApp groups where people go on and on discussing their difficult cases. So just become part of it. Just get into this part and try and bring some people, I think. If you are convinced. Don't do it if you're not convinced. Because I think, Meeta, we have to convey this. This is a system. We are teaching system. We are not teaching remedies. We are teaching you an approach.
Yes, the basic course is basically designed to teach the concepts. We are teaching elements, we are teaching all the charts, we are teaching how
Yeah.
to see, we are
Otherwise,
teaching
you don't
core
know how to do
concepts.
it. And we did this because any newcomer wants to get into this method will not know, because there are too many new concepts. Once you get them, they are not difficult, but they are new. You have to get introduced to them. No, once you are introduced, only then you can really, then you can start seeing what others are talking. And not to worry, you can join anywhere at any point, and then you will see that you learn. Many people who are completely new into the system come into it, and then after 1 or 2 months, they are in it completely. Imagine, no, I came into homeopathy without going anything. So I had no 4.5, 5.5 years teaching. I didn't know what is stramonium and what is hyoscyamus and what is belladonna and what is pulsatilla. From there, I had to start. Even the names I didn't know. And I was already practicing my psychiatry. So it's not that I was full time like a student doing it in my spare time and sitting and just reading casually. You get in. If you're interested, you get in. It is like philosophy, where to start? First thing people will ask, how to start knowing it. You start anywhere, and gradually, in some time, you know everything. Enough of monologue. Let's take the questions. Otherwise, Meeta will say, "What, sir? What are you doing?" But I really feel, that if there are less people, I think we are not promoting it enough, or we have not got convinced enough. We have to share this, and please just talk to them. If at all you're like happy about it.
So we can also ask them to help us improvise if they feel that something more is to be done from our side. We their suggestions also.
Yeah, yeah. And we have worked so much and we have gone so ahead that our books are not coming out. There are so many topics and topics and topics where we have so much of material, but our books are not coming out, because before one book is over, we are thinking of something else. We are thinking of, we're just running ahead.
So we'll start with questions. We have a question by Dr. Gunjita. Difference between air element and ether as both are spiritual elements.
Hmm. Everything is spiritual, even earth, water, fire. But it is different. In ether, in air, still that there is a substance. There is a substance. You see, first two elements are heavy. Water goes by gravitation down. Earth is the heaviest, most gross, then the water. But it is movement. You see, it's becoming rarer. There is some new dimension coming in. Then comes fire, which is anti-gravity. It is going upwards. So the whole idea is, from the material, which is pulling you down into materiality, you're gradually going into the spiritual. So air element is something which is common to all. So there is still human element, but it is common to everybody. For example, if we are sitting in a seminar room, we are sharing the air. Nobody will share your water. Nobody will share where your chair which you are sitting. Huh? The chair is earth element. Water you may share. ऊपर से पिया है मेरा बिस्लरी. Huh? Even camels have them. So you can share, but air, without your knowledge, you are sharing. So it is common, something which is common to all of us. So here you get certain spiritual qualities like compassion, empathy, where I feel for others. As you go into the fifth chakra, it is air and ether. So yet your existence is there. You are there. But now you become more and more something which is beyond you. Air is something which is a part of your consciousness. It is part of your humanity. But then something, you become intuitive. So in the fifth chakra, you become intuitive, which means what? A gift from the divine. You're just sleeping and you get some idea. Oh, or a creative person who's making music, after some point, he loses himself and he starts playing, and it's something spiritual. So there is no substance. Ether is quintessential, which means there is no, it is completely spiritual. There is no element in it. It is absence of element. It is no substance. So it is not only connected to humanity, it is connected to everything in this universe, to space and everything. So as you go up, you even lose. Your human consciousness is up the level of C4. As you go up, you even become universal consciousness. Because it is anywhere, everywhere, it's pervading everything. So what we say, that very often we say, no, there is earth. After, once you go in space, what is there? So people say there is not nothing. There is something, which is that nothing is that something. That is ether. That is that quintessential. It is even beyond humans to even experience. And why we say it's there? Because it gives you an experience of bliss, of joy, of happiness. So it has some qualities. And you feel one. So this is the highest form of spiritual. So when you are quintessential, it means you have become a saint, you have become a prophet. You are speaking. Like prophet is who? We say he's the father of, he's the son of God. Whether it is Muhammad, whether it is you say Christ, we call them, what do they call them? He's the son of God, which means exactly how the father is, he speaks that language. It is very ether. But he still has existence. He has human forms. In Hinduism, we'll call them avatars, which means God incarnate. But they maximize, they are not just human. They don't say, oh, I'm compassionate. This is coming from mind yet. In C4, you are still in the mind. So when you go into the fifth chakra, already you start getting very spiritual. But you, to get into the quintessential or that dimension, you have to go beyond time and space, because that is that existence. Our whole existence is in time and space. So when you're in the fifth chakra, it is the hearing. We say art of listening, no? What is art of listening? Just hearing without any filter. To do that, you have to become egoless. This is what Hahnemann said. I'm not saying, Hahnemann said, no, without prejudice, you have to listen. How can you listen without prejudice when there is nothing of you? You're empty. So you have to become completely neutral. Nothing is there about you. And that is not quintessential. And then something takes over you. Something comes in. So when you are in the fifth chakra, air, yet sound needs air. Sound needs air because it's a vibration. Time needs neither air nor nothing. So that is the sixth chakra. And when you go, no, all meditations say, no, here and now. Go beyond here and now. So when it's a matrix, that movie Matrix, no? When time and space comes, this world comes into existence. When you go beyond time and space, there is no existence. This is what they say as Advait. Then you go into that spiritual. So ether is a very high, it is nothingness. Air is somethingness. Okay? Have I answered, or I can go on talking? But if you feel it has answered you, then I can move. So
Yes.
as you go up, you have to empty yourself completely. This is again now, yesterday only I had a talk with some of our friends here. So all that is running in my mind. So same things are coming here. Allopaths work at a C4 level, information, mind level. Homeopaths have to be very intuitive. I am not saying. Our great Hahnemann said, no, non-prejudice. That means no judgment. That means no criticism. That means you have to be above C4. He has told you very clearly, go beyond C4. What allopaths do to you? They criticize you. They say where it is scientific. Scientific is cognitive, logical. So it's a logical mind is C4. It is criticism, right, wrong, good, bad. This is not good. This is better. This is less. So they are critical to us. We have to function at least from C5, minimum. Hahnemann is very with joint hand, he's saying, just please function from C5. That is what homeopath needs. He's very humbly asking all of us. Please go to, don't be prejudiced. Total acceptance. Listen is fourth chakra. Listen without any filters, which means let something intuitive come in. For a person who gives chinkona bark to somebody, malaria goes away, and to come up with such a big idea, can you imagine? What is new idea? Discovery. Which chakra?
C5.
C5. Homeopathy began with C5. So we don't need only air. We need something even divine within us. We have to be very beautiful people. Our patients come and make us more and more humble. C4 is very masculine. Every patient comes to you, makes you more egoistic. See how many people are coming to me. Our patients come to teach you, you know nothing. Allopath, the patient comes to tell you how great you are. We don't want to be great. We want to be what we have to be, or we must be. Okay, so we have this is that spiritual dimension. So it is not spiritual. Air is not spiritual, but it is closest to spiritual because you are feeling for others. Even that has to be finished and then go ahead. In Mahabharata, who was representing compassion, charity? Karna. On whose side was he? Was he on Pandava's side or Kaurava's side? Even that has to be killed. But he is son of Pandus, which means it is somewhere there. He is good also, but then too you have to kill. Because charity can cause very big. You know how much I have donated. This is a very dangerous place because it can make you very egoistic. You become proud, no? I have donated this, I've given this. Because of me, this institution is running. That is very scary. There is good, but also danger. That's why it has to be finished. So that's why there are so many contradictions. No, in Mahabharata, we are killing Karna, who's a good guy. So we have to go beyond that. You don't have to even, your left hand should not know what your right hand does. Chalo, it's going into the other dimensions rather than homeopathy. But the question was such. Any other question?
Yes, sir. Gunjita, she's saying so because ether is present in every other element, we don't have ether as a separate element in any of our charts.
There isn't. It is not there. It is no material. It is absence. It is the no zone. You have to go to that zone where there is nothingness. So Buddha talked about nothingness. We say that nothingness is somethingness, and which is experiential. As you go up, no, we go from logic to experience. Ours is experiential science. Remember that. People who improve know they have improved. To hell with, I don't know why, but I have improved. It's your experience. And that is higher than intellect. So this is also very important.
Yes, sir. So the second question is, it's difficult to pinpoint which element should be taken in row and which in column, especially in animal chart.
I'll have to think about it. But see it this way. If you don't know, no animal chart, you know chakra chart. So school age, take it as air. If there is infancy, take it as water. You got my point? Let's say it is womb state. So you can take it also like earth, water and earth. So you don't have to buy hard this. This is common sense. Let's say there's an adolescent. I'm thinking of Limbisi, butterfly. There has to be some air quality. And you also know, no, butterfly is a little spiritual. Butterfly also represents, I don't know what is that word, but it also the meaning of it is soul. It also has chakra 5 qualities. So you don't have to know that. You know the age. No, see, now what is beautiful because of chakra is inner age, elements, physical pathology, spiritual direction. Everything is included. So if you
So,
catch inner age, if you know inner age, you tell what is the element. I can give you one question test, no? Adolescent, which element? Air and ether. School age, air. Infancy, water. Toddler, fire. Womb, earth. So that chart has only to do with all these ages, no? So follow that. In fact, when I had started with elements, no, first when I did, I had put earth in school age. And then I did not know how to explain. Because there is some sense, no? You make your house, you build your career, you want to make money, you want to work for security. So I went through all this grind. Because when I learned chakra, chakra is telling you womb is this. And then they are saying school age is there. So I said, how is it possible? Then I realized that there are cycles. First, you have a cycle: earth, water, fire, air and ether, which is womb, infancy, toddler, school age, adolescent. Then you start again. But when you start again, where do you start from? C2. So that is the time where you are now falling in love with a girlfriend, no more mother. Then you become a second toddler, where you as an adult, you start looking after career. Correct? And then you go to, so you go. So C1 was not there. Why? Because C1 is represented in the entire adult stage. So it is C1 also is there. C1 is common to all adult stages. That which was only in the womb is also there completely in the adult stage. So then I realized, oh my God, now I understood. Before I didn't know about the adult cycle. And so when there was adolescent, spider case, I remember one of our uh, that time student, huh? Urmila asked me, so why is it tubercular? I didn't have an answer. If it is adolescent, why it is tubercular? Tubercular is leprosyphility. Then I realized it's in the adult stage also the same chakra is there. It is almost like retirement age. So then it is tubercular. I have to do everything fast because I'm getting old. So we have to understand that there are cycles. So you have to know these cycles very well. And if you go through the cycles, then what we talk about 8 stages of Erik Erikson actually are 12. I've worked on that. I've separated them. So we have these 12 cycles from birth till old age. We can make it even more because there are 3 cycles even in the womb, 3 cycles in the old age. But that will become too complicated. So just, it's all interchangeable. What is our contribution towards chakra is We have mapped it as an inner age. It's like one time, it's like when you go for exam, one reading is enough, or you do second reading and then third reading, then you feel you know. You just don't know. I've read it once, I'm going for exam. If you're doing that, then you're a brilliant person. Somebody like me would do it second time and then third one, quick one before the exam to know that what I know, I know. So that way we have these three cycles. The childhood cycle is where you're learning. Then you have the adult cycle. And then last one is quick to know what you know. Just before the exams, just before you go to your final test of leaving this school. So these three revisions, so even our chakras are giving you three chances in every birth to go through the entire process. So I think this, I digress from the question. So don't go by that. Use this much, you use the inner age to know the element. So I started like this because when I was teaching elements, I had put it in, I myself got confused because when I had taught elements, I had told it is very strongly in adult stage or school age. But now I understand why it is there. So the real truth about the elements is as it is in the chakras. You don't question chakras, you question yourself. And then you get an idea because that is eternal. Chakras cannot be changed. Chakra is a work of millions, so many sages over so many centuries. It is time tested. Most likely you are not. It is more important how you can apply that in your. And that is also one perspective. Inner age is just one perspective, one way of looking at chakras. There are so many ways you can look. Yes.
So there's a question by Mona, Dr. Mona. Delidae and Asteridae both have problems with the reproductive system. So how to differentiate?
You differentiate whether it is a school age or it is an adult stage. As simple as that. Is it right, wrong, morality issues are coming there? Is it superego development? Is it the father? Or is it about leadership, responsibility? You know, is like a king series or you are like a school age, no? So that is very important. Whom you are dealing with. So by itself, it is completely different. So you don't come first to menopause as female problems. You first come to which is the school that. So when you are doing a case, you will first say this requires 6 subclass. That is the most important. And then you will say, okay, this lady needs Naxwamika, so we can understand she has some gynec problem because it is in the male. Okay. So you have to go in detail and see, it is all morality issues, crime, punishment, right, wrong, rules. It's like a school age, no? It's like one asking, how will differentiate a school from an adult? Adult is the one who has to take up responsibility. So many things are there on his shoulder. It's a different story. What else?
So there's a question.
Sir, I have one question. When you were talking about elements, in your book, you've written that the elements can be expressed in positive or negative ways depending on an individual's awareness.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Okay, I'll tell you. So at the energy by itself has three qualities. Energy has three qualities, and that is universal. They have found out that energy has three basic qualities. Now, it's not what I have done or anybody has done. This is what they have found from time immemorial. And what are these qualities? One is heaviness, cloudiness, dullness of energy. One is activity. And one is that light, knowledge, spiritual. So you may be earth element, material, but you might be building things, you might be constructing things. You can be very selfish, greedy, making money, not thinking about the other. So it is very important how that element is expressed. For example, sixth chakra is very spiritual. So you can be a saint or you can be schizophrenic. Psychosis comes there. So it is fire destructive. It is like the Shiva's eye. If that eye opens, everything is destroyed. Now you are going to see the destruction part, or everything is destroyed and spirituality has come in. Actually, it is not destruction. This world, which is actually a mithya, goes away. It is destroyed because you are awakened into spiritual. So somebody sees destruction. Shankar Bhagavan aake sab bhasma kar diya. Other is, he is awakened into the spiritual. You see the same thing. It is perception. So it depends on how a person in his evolution is seeing the things. They can be destructive. A snake can be very, very religious person, no? At the same time, it can have use the energy in a destructive way. So it also speaks on your own, no? How you are.
So there's a question by Dr. Kavya Shri. Papaverese belongs to old adult to
Example,
old.
1 minute. I'll give example. Now, pulsatilla. Pulsatilla can be very nice, sympathetic, feel for others, kind nature. Another is VP, sensitive, neglected feeling. So there can be a pulsatilla which is, so you don't know how it will come. So that's why don't make a drug picture. Pulsatilla can be very positive or it can be negative. It's like double-edged sword. Which way we are going to use it? Everything is good. Everything can be used as good. There's nothing bad in this world. There's nothing bad. Everything is good. But our perceptions can blind it and make it into something. So we have a quality, we have a chance. We have a choice as human beings what we are going to do. Which aspect we are going to develop more. Negative is also because very often we feel like a victim. We are blaming the outside. We are still not evolved. So when you're not evolved, you look outside. My mother-in-law is like this. My boss is like this. I have to travel so much. I'm insulted everywhere. Whereas the spiritual will say, it's good. Everything is nice. That same mother-in-law, she'll feel nice. Because she's strict, I am also disciplined. Nahi to I am not like that. You see, same person. A school teacher, maths teacher who's very strict, some people will start bunking and some will say just because she was strict, I became very good in my subject. This is the way. So circumstances are same, your perception and dealing it. Are you using destructive way? Because even if I don't say, let's say, tamas, rajas and that, in world, everything has three things: creation, maintenance and destructions. So if you are in the destructive process, then you see, it is called life script. Is your life script positive or negative? Some have a destructive life script. They may be born to a very rich family, but day by day, they will go into addictions, they'll do wrong things, they will go worse. So they are going backward. And there can be a child who had nothing, but he has a constructive script. With life, he has gone ahead. Then his children take it further. then one fellow will come and break everything down. So it's how you perceive when you are, na, aurum metallicum can be excellent, na? Benevolent, doing a lot for society, responsible. And he can even be suicidal and jump out. Yes.
There's a question by Dr. Kavya. Papaverse belongs to adult to old age, but remedies in that family have drug-like qualities. Example, morphinum, heroinum, and has euphoria, and they crave for food and also stimulants to escape from this world. So, in general, how to differentiate
So
these?
you have to so don't see it only as old age. It is not just old age. You have to see that first of all, it is very undeveloped. It's like catching the wrong end. Na? First is what? The column. Like we talk, no? First see the column, is it fifth subclass or sixth subclass? Same question. That they are not equipped, they are not so developed, they don't have borders. So they take drug to escape. In first Magnolia, they don't even have a way of escaping. They just passively recognize but cannot move. There's no will, they have no action. They just succumb. That is why they are prone to all infections, everything, because everything comes in and they have nothing to stop it, no immunity, no fighting. Fighting begins a little bit from ranunculacy. Ranunculalis. So in ranunculalis, you start making border. Why you make border only in ranunculalis? Because the theme of the school is me and the other. When you go to school, you will make a border, no, on your table. ये मेरा जगह, ये तेरा जगह. बीच में कंपास से एक लाइन बनाने का. Manisha used to do it every time she went into a new class. She's the sweetest. She'll say, take my place also. I don't mind. So this is mine, this is yours. I have to respect you, you respect me. That's why respect issue comes, no? Staphys Sangria wants respect. Respect my borders, it is telling you. So he's fighting for borders. He doesn't also know how to keep borders. He gets so sympathetic. And then he goes on saying, this is not my pain, it is somebody else's pain. He's struggling with borders. Because of that, they are irritable. Why irritable? All the noise, everything comes in. One of the most irritable remedies are ranunculacy. That's why they drink, because they want to become numb. So all these drugs are taken to numb yourself because you are too super sensitive in the first subclass. But as you go down, you go to old age and adult stage. What is the main theme of adult stage? Fight. So you fight your sensitivity. How? By making a wall around you. And you become completely numb. It's like you become, now I'm not going to feel anything. It's almost like a mollusk, no? You make a shell around, now no, nothing I feel. But this is not life. You need to come out of it. Otherwise, what you're going to live in your womb like thing in a comatose stage, and you see, is it evolutionarily a good sign? No. You have overdone it. So in the second subclass, you start coming out. So that is why second subclass is how much up, how much down, how much in, how much out. You want to balance now because you took it too much. So in the first subclass, you are trying to protect yourself. And that is why you make this. And when you can't do this, you take alcohol, you take drugs. That is why all these drugs come.
Dr. Kavya, she is asking, Eid is also related to pleasure principle. How to know whether it is Eid of the person or oral stage of development?
But id and oral is same. When you are in the womb, you are governed by id because you don't have ego. What stops id from expressing itself? Id is not expressed because of ego. So we have these three aspects: id, ego, superego. So id is animal. And according to our chakra system, our journey, my first line in the book is what? My first line in the book in the introduction. Chakra book hai kiske paas on the table?
Yes, sir.
Neeta is always ready. First line in the introduction, padho. I think so.
Man is a bridge between animal and the divine.
Man is a bridge. इसमें पूरा किताब आ गया मेरा. Man is a bridge between animal and divine. So, in the womb, you're animal. That is your pleasure principle. Pleasure principle means animal. What does animal do? You give a dog a biscuit, बोलेगा नहीं आज नहीं खाऊंगा, आज मेरा डाइटिंग है. खुद के खा जाएगा वो. They are governed by instincts. What is the difference between humans and animals? We have a choice. Where does choice develop? According to Shankaran, he says choice develops in the infancy stage. No, I want this, I don't want this. There are some higher choices also. This split is there in two places. In second chakra, you have a choice. I want this, I don't want this. These are modalities. And in fourth chakra, you have this is good and this is bad. That is spiritual material. So we have a choice. And in the second chakra, we are not yet that much. Our ego is the one. What stops you? Ego is the one who is telling you, no, I'm not an animal. That is why ego wants to show yourself as a very nice person. Why human beings, I was telling yesterday, why human beings wear clothes? Hmm? Have you seen cats and dogs wearing clothes or a tiger? Except zebra, which wears a pajama. Any other dress, any other animal wears clothes? Only humans do it. What are you trying to say? I am not an animal. I'm hiding all my private parts, which are instincts. As simple as that, we never ask, no? If all the creatures can live without clothes, why humans need it? This is about that, no? So in the second chakra, you still are, you see the water element is there in the womb, and an infancy stage is extension of womb stage. It is extension because human beings decided to stand up. So when you stand up, the pelvis has to become small. And if the pelvis becomes small, the babies which are produced are not ready. A cow ka bacha calf will immediately start walking. The very 2-3 days they will start walking. Human beings take 1 year. So that 1 year is still under instincts. Huh? A baby, let's say infant, if he's hungry, he'll say, no, I'm not going to cry now because my mother is on a phone. I'll cry after 15 minutes. She's talking to her sister. Will she say that? So this is instant gratification. You want, abhi ka abhi. A child will see a balloon and will sit on the road. I want it. Finished. Priya, how many times you sat on the road because you wanted a balloon or a toy? I'm not walking.
Many times.
Probably I would beat you in it. So this is it. I was worst. I was in kindergarten. I didn't want to go to school. So I was not reluctant to wear clothes. I'm not wearing. So in that days, my father had a cycle. And those days there was, it was 50, uh, late 50s. He said, okay, don't wear. I'm taking you just like that. It makes it. I said, no, 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 no. I'm wearing clothes. So it's like this. So that is the stage where your id is still functioning to its fullest. So that will help you, in fact. Instant gratification, you will see all remedies in infancy, like ratus, and remedies which are there. They want instant gratification. What is the other question? So as ego starts developing, then you have control. See, ego development and control come hand in hand. In the toddler stage, third chakra, you have ego development. It is ego identity. And same is also for control. I can control things. Before that, you can't control. So you are like an animal. That is the ego identity. That is after which you really start functioning, like with my ego. And it develops a little bit, and then you already become a human. Where now, what I should do, I'll make a choice now. Now that I am autonomous, I have to make my choice. So fourth chakra is the human chakra.
So how do we differentiate between the aspect of oneness and unity of first column, which is womb stage, and last column of any chart, which is old age?
Okay. So how do you know a train is going out of Delhi or it is coming in Delhi? Direction. Hmm? So we have two currents. One is manifesting current and one is liberating current. Manifesting current is when some soul, some life is coming into existence. So what is the direction? Direction is, I want to be in this world. I want to be like others. I want to be strong. I want to be grounded. I want to do the things I want to do. So your interests are in getting grounded. Your interests are in becoming more worldly. Your interests are in becoming more confident. Your interests are in being like others. So you are lost in this world. I tell you. First time a child is going to Delhi. He's in Delhi. It's like, no, forget that. When you are coming to a new place, totally new place, what is your main feeling? You're lost. You close your eyes, I put you in a space machine or whatever machine, and I take you and you land up in the middle of Africa. First is, where am I? Lost people. This is first subclass. After you lived there for 40 years, 50 years, you are still lost. Hmm? After that, you plan, no, I want to go back to India. Now I know everything. So you know everything. One is knowing everything and one is not knowing anything. So you're lost, you're confused, you're bewildered, you don't know, you're lost in the well-known streets. You don't have borders and you want to become a part of the world. And when you're in the last cycle, when you're leaving the world, you know everything about the world, but it doesn't interest you anymore. It's like a puppy, no? When you see a puppy, is running around, seeing everything, sniffing everything, jumping on everything. Any little noise and he wants to go. And how is an old dog? Even if there's a big noise, only one ear will go up. Okay, I've registered and put the ear down. Doesn't do any movement. I know it doesn't interest me anymore. Enough. I've heard many sounds and jingles and colors and enough now. And I've eaten many cookies also. So you've finished your journey. You are an old soul. You're mature, you're wise, you don't need any of those things. You say, abhi bas ho gaya na abhi. First year in your school, how much you're enthusiastic, teachers are enthusiastic, wearing all those clothes and uniform and going. Imagine you're made to go to that same school for 30 years. After 30th year, if you're still in that school, you'll have to be pushed and say, what will I do? It's so boring. There's nothing new now. I have nothing more to learn. हो गया मेरा. अभी जाऊं अभी मेरे को अभी छुट्टी दो. Let me go. Whereas first class will be afraid of death. I don't want to go there. अभी तो आया हूँ. मैं तो हाइड्रोजन हूँ. I want to survive here. So you have outgrown, the world has outgrown its work when you want going out. And one is a new entrant. It's like you are saying, now I'm leaving this club. बहुत साल किया, सब games खेला, सब किया, enjoyed a lot. Now I don't want to be part of it. And somebody is very enthusiastic. अरे ये भी करने का, ये भी करने का, ये भी करने का. That childlike innocence, that joy and everything. That other is an old wise soul. He feels now I don't want. He has done everything. He knows everything. You ask him anything and he knows. And he has learned so much from experience. So you see that wisdom, that maturity. He knows everything. People ask him because he's an old timer. मैं नया हूं जरा help करो ना. Help me in this. I don't know what to do. And he's guide to others. Because he's been here for so many. He says, see, I'll tell you what to do. Because either in this birth or whatever births or whatever he want, he has gone through all that. So he both are born at the same time, but this is biological age. But we don't know how many times he has been born before. This is why we say rebirth, because otherwise we don't explain why somebody is born so mature and somebody is born so. So that means, like we say, no, people have many. Buddha had so many previous births of which he was aware. So there that concept come, and even if it is not true, at least for us to understand it, that idea is good that, some are old souls who have come many times here. And somebody who's a new entrant. As simple as that. So one is lost, and the other one helps people who are lost.
How to differentiate between magnolials and nymphials, because both belong to womb stage in subclass 1 and
So
both
I'll
are
tell
not.
you, this is very beautiful that even Yakir has not mentioned. This is my own belief in this, that there are certain subclasses where you have two orders. Like magnolia we have, and then we have nymphalis. In the second column, we have, what is that? Moraceae and Ulmaceae. Then we have in the fifth subclass, you have Rosaceae. So one of them is spiritual. Like nymphalis is spiritual. Okay, magnolia is not spiritual. Moraceae is spiritual. Ulmaceae is not so spiritual. And why is it? How will you explain? Both are womb stage. So I believe nymphalis is period of conception. Rosy day is period of conception in the 5th subclass. Morrissey is period of conception in 2nd subclass. So these are the 3 remedies which are spiritual. So it is not yet, it is in a process of transition. So though they are put in that same bracket because there is no more columns there. It is more like hydrogen coming into existence, transition. So they are spiritual. Morrissey, where you have the people ka jhad, vad ka jhad, really Ficus religiosa, Ficus indica. They are in the process of coming into the 2nd subclass. Rosy day is in the process of coming into the 5th subclass. So you will see spiritual qualities in them. Idealism. You will not see in that the other one. Because they are in the lower, it's little advanced stage of pregnancy. So they are little heavier. So what will happen, you will see in Magnolia, they'll be sleepy. It is more the sleepy state. Ulmesi, what you see is the heavy state. Because it's late pregnancy. Morrissey is spiritual. And in India, we believe, no, there is no village where in the center there will not be a Ficus religiosa tree. They are so part and parcel of human Indian fauna, flora. It's part of our consciousness. Indians are spiritual little more. And so are the plants, which we revere and where we grow, no? Ficus indica. So you have to see that within the womb stage also there are stages. One is conception and one is late one. That is how you will differentiate.
The next question is, in subclass 3, there is a theme of dragon eating its own tail. So it's more on destructive or aggressive end, which is masculine trait. So how does this column belong to the feminine element?
It is feminine element because it is in the womb. So it is a womb. But there is a masculine element. Why? What is feminine? Receptive. So in the first subclass, you are receptive as an embryogenesis. In the second, you are a fetus. You are receptive. In the third column, you have to go out. Going out is masculine. Going out, taking action, fire element, third chakra, aggression. You have to go out. What will the mother tell if the son is small and not going out to play? अरे लड़का होके घर में बैठा है. Masculine energy is going out into the world. So you're leaving that place and going out. So it is the first masculine impulse within the feminine. Predominantly feminine. That's why they are, when they do, doing is masculine, but in the feminine consciousness, which is idealism. So they want to do great deeds. You read, no? They want to do great things like anhelonium. Like, which is that other remedy there? Which wants to do, no? Desire to do great deeds. It's like, idealistic work. Which is a tubercular miasm there. See, my brain also be. I think this could be
All
my
right.
huh?
Serious bond plant diet.
Serious born plant die and no and the desire to do
Cactus.
no cactus. All of them have this. Serious born planta has no all these themes of wanting to do great. I think this should be my last lecture. I'm getting forgetful now.
No.
Cerebi. So there you see, desire to do great deeds means foolish. Enhelonia wants to encompass the whole world. अरे बाप रे तू जरा शांति से बैठ ना यार. Too idealistic, manic. I want to swallow the whole world. So the theme here is of the hero. This is one of the themes of the movies. So when you say hero, it is a masculine. So what are the stories? An underdog is there in the movie. There's a king, there's a queen, and there's a princess. They're all rich and affluent and wow and big and everything. And then there's a small farmer's boy who has nothing. And how he kills the dragon, and the king gives his daughter to him in marriage. It's like from rags to riches. From a small person, because you are in the feminine, know that ego is small, you are very small. But whom are you killing? The dragon. Who's the dragon? The mother. That mother which was all the time nourishing you in the first subclass, second subclass, now is redundant. If you don't come out of the womb, she'll finish you. You have to fight that womb and come out and be like, wow, I did it. This is the first point of negative impulse towards the feminine. So you are acting against the feminine. Why do you think cactus does not want water? Did you ever think? Because water is feminine. Water can kill it. But after you're born, you are again from mother's womb into mother's lap. So it's just a momentary impulse, masculine impulse. That is the first masculine impulse. So you're still in the feminine. Even after coming out, you're a baby. That hero has to again go into the lap of the mother. So this is that killing the dragon. It is the womb. And he feels like what he has achieved. That's why it has suffocation. No, it can die, you can kill, fear of death. And this idea that I want to do something, but feminine is very vast and very, idealistic and expansive. So his actions are also too expensive. Did I answer? Okay.
So there's a last question. Is it always necessary that mirroring of chakra happen for the symptoms to develop? For example, a patient is quite creative, which is representation of chakra 5. Then is
Not
it
necessary. One way you are expressing singing because you are suppressed in your second chakra. I'm muriaticum. I cannot express and I'm expressing through singing. Second, you are creative. You're just creative. They are different. Their directions are somewhat similar. For example, toddler is, I want to stand up and I have to be in control because I can fall down. I want to stand up. Cancer is saying, I'm already standing up. I should not fall down. It's opposite. So it's opposite. C2 is going outside seeking pleasures in the world. Rasgulla, balloon, nice clothes. It is all about he is directing himself or engaging in the world through senses. But it is all about him, his pleasure. And C5 is also his pleasure. But he's engaging in the pearls which are inside, the spiritual aspect. That intuition. He's not interested in, not that he's not interested, but that is not his main concern, whether he gets jalebi or not. He's more interested in, wow, I created this. I got this insight. I could play this music well. So he's seeking his pleasure. Already the direction has changed from outside to inside. But he is still looking for pleasure from inside. The joy of making a sculpture, the joy of making a nice painting, the joy of singing a song very well. It's creativity. So you see, they are opposite. They are not the same. So even for a second chakra, if you are suppressed, the very fact when you are suppressed, you have muriaticum element. So if you have muriaticum, you are already in the higher chakras. So you are in C5, C6. So automatically you will be able to express. But otherwise, they are not that if it is not one, the other one. It depends on the remedy. If I'm natramure, then I can express in my fifth chakra. So even if you see that mirroring, it has to, like, there is a complete, when I say natramure, you have natrum, which is C2, and muriaticum, which is C5, C6. So you have to have both these aspects, then only you will see it. But just that they are similar. Like toddler and C4B are similar. C2 and C5 are similar. C1 and old age is similar. Retreating, going inside. Am I safe? Any other question? Extempore.
So what is the difference between opposite and mirroring?
It is mirroring meaning they look similar, but they are opposite. How many times a toddler you'll have thought it is a cancer miasm? They look similar, but they are not similar. So you can confuse them. So in a way, they are identical. Basic theme is same, but direction is different. So they are same, but different. Second chakra wants to enjoy, but from outside. Fifth wants to enjoy, but from inside. Third chakra wants control to stand up. C4B wants control, so he doesn't fall. You see both, no? One is opposite and one is same.
Yes, sir. One more question by Dr. Bindu. In a case of bipolar disorder as diagnosed by a psychiatrist, how to start the treatment if we don't know the mania symptoms? Then can we see the symptoms of depression only, the presenting state, and the remedy may not have the potential for the other polarity?
How can it be? If the doctor has said it is bipolar, that means there are two poles. So what you need to do is, first of all, they will not come with both. Patient will not say, today I'm coming in depression, tomorrow I'll go into mania and come back to you. So you have another polarity. He is what he is. So first study whatever polarity is in front of us and see what themes are coming up. And then you have to ask for the other one. And how have you been in the other polarity? Especially when they're in depression, they're in denial. No, 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 I have never felt I was great. But the family will say, no, you don't know. But that time he was feeling very great about himself. And he's feeling. So one polarity has to be understood either by the patient telling you or from other people telling you. And in context of the whole case, his personality and everything. Because these are not two different things. In bipolar, it is like your two polarities are both expressed in the patient. So both have to say the same language, like you're talking mirroring, no? Same, but different. So it's the same story. Overconfident, no confidence. So we have to understand that and then give the remedy. So it will, and if at all, the doctor is saying bipolar, but the patient says, I never had manic, then to hell with that psychiatrist. Just take your psychiatric depression history, take your whole premorbid personality, understand the whole condition and the case with interest, hobbies, dreams, everything, and come to a remedy and give. Sometimes if you have understood your depression well, you can always ask, kabhi aisa bhi hua tha, did it ever happen that he was just the opposite, where he felt very confident? They'll say, yeah, but that is not strong and not for a long time. Then tell, but whenever it happened, what was it? And get it. So we don't cook meal based on what that psychiatrist tells. We have to cook with what we have. Take all the ingredients we have and make a nice meal. Meeta has all the recipes. So at the end of it, you ask her for that book, she'll give you.
So no further questions.
4 मिनट है. वसूल करो, वसूल करो.
So meanwhile, we'll announce tomorrow's, we are starting advanced course tomorrow. So those who have done basic and are still thinking, so please do register for the advanced course. We'll be teaching all the applications of the concepts through cases. So again, it's a very vigorously programmed, scheduled course, which sir has personally designed. So please do register. And those who are new can register for the basic also. We can send you the recordings and then you can start with the advanced tomorrow. And if you have any queries, we are there to assist you.
Okay, Gunjita is trying to ask something. I don't know. What was it? Just go through the chat. No, is there any other question?
In our charts, no, this is done.
Okay, if it's done, then done.
Yeah, you have already answered this, service. In our
Okay.
charts, we have considered womb stage to be water element, but in chakra understanding, we have womb stage as an earth element in chakra 1. So how do
Yeah,
we understand this?
we talked about it.
Yeah, we have already answered. So we have Dr. Lakshmi. She's asking, so what is the spark you got from the connect spiritual psychology and homeopathy?
What spark?
What was the spark you got to connect spiritual psychology and homeopathy?
I got.
Yeah.
I only work for Lakshmi. So Lakshmi,
Sir.
I don't know.
You can unmute and you can come on video.
Yes,
Doctor.
sir. Sir, good evening, sir. My name is Lakshmi, sir.
Yes.
Sir,
Where is
I'm
the Lakshmi? Where is the Lakshmi? When
yes, sir.
there is
Yes, sir.
Lakshmi around, then
Yes,
there is
sir.
no spirituality, nothing.
Sir, good evening, sir. My name is Dr. Lakshmi. I am a student of Dr. K. Srinivasan of Chennai, sir. He
Nice.
passed on August 2024 at the age of 95. He used to say me the psychology, spirituality, and philosophies and homeopathy. For past 14 years, I was with him.
Well, I'll tell you. I
What was
don't
the
know.
spark you got?
I don't know. Nobody gets a spark. Spark is, how will I know if I get a spark? Spark is
What was
given.
the idea? How you? What was the idea generated behind this? You
This is it.
being basically a psychologist.
This is it. No, very often I'll tell you, Lakshmi. People ask me, how did you come into it? I'll tell you very honestly, I don't know. I don't know. Today, if somebody will tell me, some psychiatrist, and let's say I'm a new psychiatrist and I know what it takes, I say, oh my God, do I want to be a homeopath? It's a never-ending study. So much. But then I thought, I know psychiatry. Homeopathy, I'll do it in 6 months and then I have one more thing to work on. I'll have more tools to work on. But this is something which me like a python sucked me in completely. You go on and on and on and on, it never ends. So it's an ongoing process, and I think it just happens. It depends on which level we look. Are we looking that I do, and because I did something happened? But when you look it from a higher level, things are given. So something draws you, something comes in your life. I've been very lucky, even to be and attend with Shankaran. I didn't have to go. I had to just 5 minutes away. Now, can you imagine? Somebody sitting in America and wants to learn, and that master is in Bombay. So it is just divine grace, luck that I came first of all to be in Bombay, which is a rich place of homeopathy. Then to get into the thought that we should do homeopathy, and then to see the right people. So things happen. And what things happen, I don't have answers. I can just say that I'm lucky that it happened. And I'm very honest about it. I don't know how it happened. So I don't decide. Like, for example, before I read Chakra, I was reading about Kapha, Vata, Pitta. I was enjoying. It was during this COVID time. I made so many notes and I so many studied, but no spark came. I left it. Today there may be a spark. After Chakra, now I see Kapha, Vata, Pitta. For me, it makes a lot of sense. Someday I'm going to connect that also. But too many things in my that. But now I can see. But reverse way it would not be. First I did Kapha, Vata. I should have done first chakra, then I would have seen Kapha, Vata, Pitta, how it is connected. Because finally, truth is universal. Everything has to be. If homeopathy is true, it will be expressed. So my first thing was, if we are dealing with energy, why not study something which is the energetic system in our body? So out of curiosity, I started, and then one thing started opening up. Lucky for me. That's what I'll say, and that it had to happen. But nothing, no spark. It is just that what I can tell about me is that I'm a very keen learner. I'm always a student, eternal student. And probably that gives me joy more than anything else. So I'm not tired. There's something more I want to learn. So there's that student bug in me. And that is probably helping me. Rest is God's grace.
Excuse
you,
me,
sir.
sir. Yeah,
Tushna Maiti.
yeah. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
And is there anything we should relate with positive and negative aspects, like our remedies, polarities?
Yes,
Everything or everyone has positive and negative polarities like that.
yes, everybody has.
Oh,
There is. So every remedy also has different positive aspects and negative aspects. And this is also our perception. Nothing is negative.
mm,
What is positive is what we call as gift.
yeah.
Correct?
Mm,
So if I am a tubercular miasm, I can be a creative person. This is my gift. I can be an
yeah.
musician, I can be an artist, but I'm also angry and I'm breaking, throwing things at home.
Mm,
This is my lesson.
mm,
So you are not come here for fun. It is like our annual program where we go out, it is always fun and learn.
mm. True.
One is we are all going out, seeing sight, archaeological places, we are seeing lions, tigers. This is the fun. Learn is when you sit, all our queries, all our difficulties.
Mm.
So difficulties are also not negative. Difficulties are opportunities.
Of course. True.
Will you learn if your teacher will, even after when you're in the 7th standard, will tell you, okay, let's do 2 plus 2 is how much? Will you grow? You'll stagnate.
Mm.
Unless they will ask you sine theta, cos theta, you will not understand what to do. So always there is a challenge. And the joy is in overcoming challenge.
Yeah.
Huh? And one
Mm.
more thing is about whatever be the difficulty, whichever be your remedy. But the difficult part of that remedy when you are solving, all difficulties can be solved only by spirituality because they have come there only to take you higher.
Very true.
Huh? You learn to detach, you learn to see it from another perspective. So they have come to make you wiser.
Mm.
That's why Shani gives you difficulty, but he is also God of wisdom, no?
Yeah. True.
But we don't want that. We want lenient teachers. We don't want strict teachers, na Kerawala. What
Yeah.
We want teachers like you who give us so much grace.
Very true. Thank you very much.
they say, no, difficulties are opportunities. For
Yeah.
that, you have to see. Sometimes people make opportunities also difficulties.
Mm.
So,
If difficulty is not there, we don't grow.
yeah, so we have to wait.
Mm.
That is the whole idea, when you get, let's say when there is a difficulty,
Mm.
when you don't deal with it, because you're born to deal with it.
Yeah.
So what will happen? First, you will get some illness. But they'll be only physiological illness.
Mm.
But then you'll say, I'll take allopathic medicines. I'll go on taking this antihistaminic. And then there's no problem. I'll continue. So you're not learning your lesson. So then it becomes a structural problem.
It
So
was a temporary fix.
the temporary fix, because you have not taken your lesson, that is the biggest problem of allopathy.
Problem. Mm.
You are denying the life lesson. It is actually not good.
Mm.
If you're taking with awareness but not using it as a crutch, it is okay. Is an
Mm.
management. Somebody is coming with a cardiac arrest and you'll say, come, I'll take 2 hours case. You sit with me. Poor fellow. So acute crisis, it is very good, but you have to know what is its limitation.
Yeah.
If you're vomiting and all and you take one pill that's to stop vomiting, it's no problem. But then every day you'll only say, I'll go on eating spices and I'll go on taking my tablet. Then you'll get
No.
cancer.
Mm.
Correct? So second
Correct.
is the divine is telling, Arey, I gave her physiological problem. She's still not listening. Now let me give her some structural problem.
Mm.
So then you go to a doctor and that also you will not treat. You will take some medicines and then you'll continue. Many people are taking antihypertensive, and then they feel now I'm all right. And they continue. Then you get some malignant problem.
True.
What's the first thing when somebody gets cancer? What they say? Now I'm going to think about myself and nothing else. Arey Baba, first only you would have thought you would not get now.
Mm.
So who will tell them? So God is also, or God, I should not use the word, the divine energy is always trying to first give you some trouble. Don't close your eyes. See, that's
Signals.
why hey and all. No, they say talk to your illness. It is trying to tell you something. What is it trying to tell you? Now with the chakra system, we also know now, okay, my chakra 3 is talking to me. My chakra 4 is talking to me. So this is also very important. When you know your chakras, no, even if you're not the right remedy, but if you give you the correct chakras, no, at least some relief you will get.
Yeah.
Because you're correcting that energy pattern there, no?
Mm.
It may not be ekdam perfect one, but it helps.
True.
Okay,
Thank you, sir. Yeah.
So illness is also a way in which the divine is speaking to you.
Mm.
See, this world has to go on, no? The school also requires donation or no? If the
Yeah.
school has to continue, you have passed, I have passed, but the school, other children are coming in, no?
Mm.
So there has to be correction, there has to be renovation, they have to make a garden, they have to give new teachers, they have to pay for the new teachers. So you have to give back to this society. That is the gift. What you give to the world is participating because you want the school to run. That is why everything that is good for the school is pleasurable. If you will not eat, you die, then how will the school continue? So food is pleasurable. If sex is not pleasurable, you will not produce babies, then how will the school run? School wants babies. So it's made it pleasurable. So everything that is good for the school is pleasurable. This is God is very, he's little shana, I think. Smart fellow. So he has put all the pleasurable things so that the school continues. Some of our religions also tell, no, having a children is your duty. It's a part of your duty to marry and have children because you have not paid your rin or your debt to the world in which you have come and learned everything, but you're not contributing anything to the school. Where is your dakshina? So all that your gifts are there are actually contributing to the world. But you also to learn how to leave the school in one day. No, someday you have to leave. So that is one of those difficulties which come to teach you to go to the higher class, till a day where you don't need to be. But others will keep coming. Make sense?
Yeah, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Okay.
Sir.
Yes.
Lakshmi, sir. Sir,
that is the
trauma.
problem. When too much of Lakshmi goes in the sir, no, then man becomes materialistic.
Sir, I'll change my name, sir. My full name is Lakshmi Devi, sir. I'll better call myself
Lakshmi is
Devi.
very important. Lakshmi is power. Don't change your name. Lakshmi is power. Power to manifest in the world. Today, if you want to improve, grow, and become, how you use Lakshmi is important. Don't become a slave of Lakshmi. Use it for the right thing. It is very important. No?
Yes, sir.
If I'm only thinking of Lakshmi and preserving her in my safe, it is not what I have to do. That same Lakshmi can be used for charity, for helping, for your own personal development.
Yes, sir.
Sweet is good, but if you only eat sugar, then it is boring, no?
Yes, sir.
So Lakshmi is not bad.
Yes,
We always
sir.
remember, no? Lakshmi is also important. It is one of the powerful tools.
Yes,
Today,
sir.
America is ruling all over the world, dictating their terms. They break governments, do whatever they want, just on the power of Lakshmi. So you cannot deny that power.
Yes, sir. Sir, trauma and somatic disorders.
Yes.
Trauma and somatic disorders. Can this trauma also be put into any of the stages?
How you perceive trauma?
Trauma at any age, at for a child or adolescent.
The trauma is not a trauma. Let's talk about emotional trauma. I was bullied in school. I don't even remember. It's not a trauma. But only once somebody told me something, it becomes a trauma. There are two children at home. Father is strict. One child says, I don't mind. Let my father, I tell him yes and I do what I want. Other child is intimidated. So what is trauma is also your evolution. What is considered trauma? Today, if I lose money, I'll say it's okay. Somebody will say, oh my God, he will want to jump out of the window because he doesn't have Lakshmi. So, and situation is not a problem. How you perceive, how you see, and the main thing is how much you are attached to that particular thing. So, your traumas will tell you where you are stuck in your life. And if you're talking about physical trauma, then you have to see what is the effect on you. Oh, now I am dependent on somebody. Now I have to take money from my child. And I can never do that. I want to be on my own. So your own state comes out. So trauma also comes. Let's say I'm very autonomous, then the trauma might come to tell me, now learn to accept that you can be dependent on somebody else. So nothing is accident. Trauma is an accident. Everything is a design.
to trauma be subconsciously settled in someone?
That trauma is settled only in somebody because it is their program. It doesn't settle on everybody. Unless there is a very big trauma. If the trauma is so huge, like a bomb blast, like nuclear bomb, like Hiroshima, then it affects everybody. But otherwise, traumas, what you pick in life is because you are picking. What is trauma for you is talking about you. Some people can go for bigger traumas and they say, oh, but that was not a problem for me. I gave you example, no, I lose money, I might not do, somebody might jump. So it speaks about the money or it speaks about the person. Correct?
It's like a reaction to the trauma,
Yes, it
which
is
is
how
important.
that is important.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, done.
Yes, sir.
See you all. Bye.
Thank
And
you,
best
sir.
wishes for your future journey. Continue to learn, grow. Best wishes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you everyone for joining up. Hope to see you in advanced course.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Bye-bye.